What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to Park to Prem here with Tower Town. Today it's episode number 82. Today we take on Swansea City in the Championship. Of course, Swansea City, a team that once upon a time we very nearly joined. Before we get into this episode, I do want to just say a massive thank you to everyone for the ongoing support on the series. The views on this series have been going up, which is kind of unusual, but the last couple of episodes have been the most watched episodes within the first 24 hours of them being live of any of the episodes in this series, which is absolutely remarkable. So yeah, massive thank you to everyone who has been watching, and also a special thank you to the binge watchers amongst you. Those of you who, I've had a lot of people message me saying, Jack, I have watched all of the episodes in the last 2 weeks. I've had nothing better to do with my time. I've binge watched. If you've somehow managed to catch up, I have to salute you, particularly if you've not skipped through any episodes. You guys are awesome, and yeah, welcome aboard, I suppose. That's not to discredit those of you who have been around a while, of course. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on today. We have Swansea City, who currently sit 19th in the Championship. They were predicted to finish 5th. I did have a little cheeky peek at this before, but Gao Han Chen, their former sugar daddy tycoon, he scaled down his funding 1 year, and the next year he took all his money away. So they aren't really a bankrolled team anymore, despite their exceptional value and obviously very good first team. They're not going to be an easy team for us today. They sit 19th. You might have caught it on this page here. We're in 9th. It's been a weird period of time. We'll talk about the results in just a second, but the bottom line is we are 2 points away from Portsmouth in 6th, but on the flip side, we are also 4 points away from Luton in 21st. The league is unbelievably tight. I mean, look how close it is, ignoring Oxford at the bottom here because they don't count. Leicester and Reading, perhaps two teams you would be surprised to see struggling. But no, it really is looking just fiercely competitive, this league. You might have caught here, we've only won one of our last 5. The good news is Swansea, who we take on today, have also won only one of their last 5. So it's a battle of the two teams not in form. One of us has to pick up some points today, so let's hope it's us, shall we? Anyway, let's talk about the game since you were last here. Of course, last episode, we got demolished by Crystal Palace, and I didn't think I was that upset about it until someone mentioned in the comments the fact that they had Gnabry on the bench. The fact they've just got Gnabry on the bench and they can just have him, I mean, he doesn't look particularly good, to be fair, and he's on ridiculous money. But the fact that he's just playing for a championship team, it feels a little unfair, to say the least. They've got a very good team, and they're predicted to finish first. They are still in the playoff spots. They've not pulled massively ahead from us, which makes me feel bad about the fact we couldn't beat them, because it's not been too good for us. So let's talk about these results, shall we? And we got off with 2 wins, which was nice. The first of these, against Nottingham Forest, a 3-1 victory at home. A great little performance. Mr. Dessa with his first ever senior goal. Give him a round of applause, everyone. First senior goal for Mr. Dessa. It wasn't a particularly memorable one. It took a couple of bites at the cherry. Vinko Kosic then got a really tidy finish. A little bit of luck, I suppose, about this one. The ball ricocheting off 2 defenders as he cut inside and he tucked it away. James Molyneux then did his thing. It was a bit of a relief to see him score. He hadn't scored in the previous 6 league games, which is one of his longest droughts ever. He put us 3-0 up. And then, of course, in good old Towlaw fashion, with the game dead and buried, we decided we didn't want a clean sheet. We wet the beds and we put nappies on our heads. And Nottingham Forest, they laid us to rest. They got a goal through Addy Forsdick, and 3-1 is how it finished. Worth noting, by the way, with these games at home, we're getting between 6,000 and 7,000 fans. That feels pretty good. And you can see here, 3,000 of them away fans. That means we've had 3,200 home fans for this game against Nottingham Forest. The bandwagon is building up. People are hopping on the Towlaw hype train. Anyway, the next game we had against Sheffield Wednesday, another win. And, well, Andre Dazelle, what a magician. Doesn't score too many for us, but his first goal in this game to open up the scoring after just 10 minutes. Mwah, beautiful, like a tasty Italian meatball. I don't know why I've decided Italian meatballs. I prefer pizza to spaghetti dishes. Anyway, he scored in the second half. Not an ideal start. Mike Makepeace at the back post to nod it home for them. We grabbed 2 goals in quick succession, though. The first 3, James Molyneux. The second, Shvetsov at the back post. And let me tell you now, Shvetsov, he loves scoring headers. He isn't a crazy kind of aerially gifted player. He's not a Peter Crouch. But he does like to head his goals in, and, well, 3-1 up, started to breathe a sigh of relief, and then Jay Patchin decided that I was not allowed to relax. I was not allowed to enjoy the last 10 minutes of this game. He scored in the 85th minute to make it 3-2. You can see in the bottom left, they had so many chances, Sheffield Wednesday. We definitely rode our luck in this one. But ultimately, 3-2 it finished, and a good little win. Following on from that, two tricky games, the first of which was away from home against Huddersfield. You can see in this game, we lost 1-0. It was through a goal by Junio Bakuna, bit of a thunderous effort from range. Smoljo couldn't get there, and it didn't get much better just 4 days later. Taking on Middlesbrough, a bit of a local derby of sorts, I suppose, at home. In this match, we had 4,000 fans in attendance in terms of home fans, and they witnessed us lose 2-0, which was not ideal. Although Middlesbrough, they're very, very good. They did dominate the game. They were the better side. They currently sit top of the league, and despite their pre-season billing of 9th place, they're defying all expectations at the moment. So to lose them 2-0 wasn't entirely surprising. You can see it here. They've won all of their last 5 games. They've only lost 1 of their opening 14. They're quite a good team at Middlesbrough. Anyway, most recently, a bit of a mixed bag. We lost against Preston. We lost to them in the Cup. We've lost to them in the league. It's not ideal, I suppose. The next game we had, though, a good game against Birmingham. We needed a game where we got a load of goals, and this was that. So you can see Molyneux, Shuttleworth, Kosic, Turnbull, and also Michael Roof with goals in that game. A real variety of goal scorers. And then most recently, we took on Reading, where we lost 4-2. It was a bit of a turbulent game, this one. Lots of highlights, so I'm not going to show you it. You can see the match stats here. We were the better team. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it. We had 4 clear-cut chances, 4 half chances, and they won 4-2 because we didn't take those chances that came our way. I mean, you'd think that would be an unfortunate result and a little bit annoying. It gets a million times more annoying when you realise that Reading had only won 2 of their first 13 games of the year. Yeah, a few games here that we really should be doing better in, and if we had done better in, we could very easily be in the playoffs right now. I guess the one silver lining here is we have quite good goal difference compared to a lot of the teams around us. We lose narrowly, and we win handsomely from time to time, which is, I guess, a positive of sorts. Anyway, off the pitch, things have been going okay. Mr. Dessa, let's discuss this guy. He got his first ever senior goal. He's been developing a ton. He's also got a little bit of interest in him. This is the bit where it's not going to show. Okay, it is still here. Good. Yeah, you can see a real variety of teams looking at him. I think just about every Premier League team looking at him, which is, well, promising, I suppose, for his longer-term development. He has got a 4-year deal left at the club with a £200 a week wage. Oh, gosh, that should probably classify as some kind of form of slavery, really, shouldn't it? Yeah, he's on a crazy, crazy low contract. You can see he's been playing for the Croatian national team, which is very, very exciting. And his value is shot up to 3.1 million. So, Mr. Dessa, what a right back he is. I'm hoping that he's going to continue to develop here. But yeah, for a player who is only 18 years old, I'm excited. Very, very consistent. Lots of potential. Big teams looking at him. When Liverpool are looking at one of your youngsters, it's usually a sign that they might be quite good. You can see Ronnie Williamson has also been attracting some interest. Not quite by the same high-profile teams. In truth, I don't really want to sell anyone right now. We've got such a young squad that I'm kind of... I've talked about it before. I'm in this situation where if we don't do great things, I'm not going to lose sleep over it this year because I feel like we're only going to be better season on season from here on out. Just in terms of the youth teams, there's been a little bit of interest in it from you guys, so just to have a quick look. Our under-23s are currently top of their league, which I suppose is good. I mean, you can see here they've not lost in their first 5. 16 goals scored, 7 of those against Hull City. Feel a little bit bad for them. Just looking at the stats here, if we look at player overview stats, you can see some of the big performers in this competition. In fact, I thought player overview would give us a better look at things. I suppose it does. You can see Leighton Stewart, he loves the under-23s, bless him. What a player he's been. Eric has been developing a lot as well this year, which is very exciting. You can see some of his recent development here. Keep an eye on Eric. I think by the end of this season, he'll be playing a few games in the first team, potentially as a striker, maybe out on the right. But no, to be honest, things are just very, very kind of positive right now. There's loads and loads of reasons to be optimistic. Gerardo Bravo, another player who could find himself in the first team, another Spaniard, 18 years old. This guy joined us from, I'm just going to call them Batman team because they've kind of got a bat logo. Yeah, look, it's like a bat. That's a bat, right? That's not... It could be a flying squirrel with its wings out, but I think it's a bat. But yeah, the Batman team that we signed him from, they probably feel a bit mugged. He looks very good. He's been performing exceptionally well for the under-23s and developing a lot as well. Oh, he's probably good enough to be in the first team, but we just have so many strikers. Maybe need to secure a loan for him. He's a bit too good for the under-23s. For our under-18s, if you were wondering, they've played a few more games. They've played 12 as part of the Under-18s Youth Alliance League North East. We currently only trail Nottingham Forest. I don't know what happens in this competition. I think the winner might get promoted to this league. I'm not sure. I mean, it's highlighted in green, which would make you think they get promoted, but it might have something to do with youth levels as well. Either way, they've scored 46 goals in 12 games. Their defensive record, not quite as good as Nottingham Forest's, but we love our goals here at Towlaw. They're playing the Towlaw way, and if you were wondering, who is the top goal scorer? I don't know why Key Headers is the one shown here. Top goal scorer, Darren Budd. You might remember Darren Budd. Played in the first team at the end of last year. Recently got injured for 3 months. So the fact he's got 18 goals is pretty darn impressive. Let's hope he can recover from his injury and it's not going to hold him back too much. But not good for one of your best young prospects to be out for that long, I suppose. But anyway, today we're going to be taking on Swansea, and besides the youth front, to be honest, we've just been plodding along. I don't want to say this has the feeling of one of those seasons that could end up being a bit of a write-off. But it does feel like a year where we're destined for mid-table. We need to start picking up a few more points, stringing a few wins together. By the same token, you know, we're not a million miles away from the relegation zone. I know that might seem ridiculous to say in ninth, but considering we've only won one of our last 5, and we currently only sit 7 points ahead of Reading, we do kind of need to buck our ideas up a little bit. And today, a game away from home against Swansea could be the game to do that. Swansea City, if you just wanted to have a look at them, their their key player is Pablo Rosario, who is a Dutch centre defensive mid / centre back. I can't give you a full rundown of how good he is, but he's on £49,000 a week, which, for those of you who are accountants out there, is approximately a third of our club's wage budget, so we can't quite spend the same kind of money as them. Anyway, I'm tempted to go with what I believe is our best 11. I have recently been experimenting with Garrido as a winger instead of an inverted winger. I don't really like it, so I'm going to try and back in this role for us here today. He's struggling a little bit for fitness, only recommended to play half the game. You know what? We'll bring Jacobs in with his banana boots. I wouldn't say he's championship quality. In fact, our staff are saying he's League 2 quality, but I actually feel like he can do the business for us. The other option, I suppose, is Shuttleworth, who you might be surprised to not see in the first team, but he started off the year really well with 4 assists in his first 5 games, and since then he's just gone down the toilet. He's gone down the drain. He's been flushed by championship opposition. You know what? We're going to give him a chance to redeem himself today. Elsewhere in the team, I'm going to play Turnbull ahead of Shvetsov. Shvetsov has had a mini goal drought of sorts, so we're going to sit him out. But between him and Turnbull, you know, they're still fiercely competing for this position. Turnbull has also developed a ton as of late, as you can see here. Lots of exciting stuff to see. The work rate going up, determination going up is obviously always very good. Decisions as well. If we just have a little look at his development since he first joined us, I mean, look at that. It's a beautiful sight, isn't it? Still got a way to go with his technicals, but he's 18 years old. He's going from strength to strength, and we're going to give him the nod today and see what he can do. He's only got 2 goals in 12 appearances in the league. 8 of them have been off the bench, but he did score recently to end his goal-scoring drought. And I've got faith in him to go out there and make a difference. I realise here, we're playing Mr. Dessa with an injury. I was not paying attention, was I, to Mr. Dessa's injury? I could have brought Grant in at right back. It doesn't seem too serious based on his current fitness. Let's just have a quick look here. Gashed upper leg. It's a cut. Give him a plaster. Give him a little kiss on it. Not me personally. One of the physios. Magical kisses. That's what physios do. And, you know, give him a kiss on his plaster, give him a lollipop, make him happy. He's going to be playing at right back for us, and hopefully he's going to be fine. It's only a gashed leg. Unfortunately, it does look like they are targeting him, and he needs to put in a tackle here, which he doesn't do. Smoljo to the rescue, though, to help out his Croatian national team counterpart. They've currently played 100% of the ball down the left, and that is where Mr. Dessa is for us, on our right. So that's a bit of a cause for concern. Let's not read into it too much. We have a chance here. Dazelle back to Shuttleworth. Bit of 1-2-ness going on here. They get the ball, though, and Jardine bringing it forward. Can we stop him here? Oh, the tackle slides in. It would have been a huge tackle. It got away from the defender, but Smoljo making another save. Where is the Smoljo haters now? Can you see them? I'm really tempting fate here, aren't I? I mean, so far, Swansea City, I want to say they don't know what they're missing out on. I feel like they'll be a bit disappointed with 0-0, but I wanted to go out there and spank them in this game to make them, get a taster for what could have been. Anyway, the ball cleared away here, only as far as Andre Dessel. Now with Shuttleworth. Mr. Dessa on the right. He has an injury. He doesn't care. He puts it into Dylan Turnbull. And the two little bits of gambles, I guess, with first-team selection, they come off. It's his third goal of the year, and I'm hoping now that Turnbull is just kind of going to find his rhythm, going to find his feet at this level. I think he's good enough for this level. There's no denying that, I don't think. And, well, lovely little finish on the half volley. That takes some technique to keep it down and hit the target. I wouldn't mind another one before half-time. We might be called into some defending here, though. Jardine making another run. This guy loves his runs. Passes it to Lewis Porter, who I thought was going to just smash it into the back of the net. Luckily for us, over the crossbar, we can breathe a sigh of relief, at least for now. Swansea now building the ball from the back, lump it forward, down Ray's throat at left back. Now with Andre Dessel, who tries to switch it to Kosic, falls to Ray's. Sacco, Dessel going out wide to Shuttleworth. Look at that, that 10 acceleration that used to be 8 is the only reason the ball is still in play. It is also the only reason that Swansea City are now on the attack as they give it to Maffeo on this right-hand side. Goes inside to Lewis Potter. I think I said Porter before. He's a Potter. He's related to Harry. Now we've got Solanke to try and contain. Down this left-hand side. Mr. Dessa, you're an idiot. He looks very upset with himself in 3D. I think he heard what I had to say. Smolio, you don't save penalties like Joe Hans did back in the day. Can you save us today? No. Man, remember when Joe Hans saved, I think it was 3 or 4 out of 5 penalties? I like to believe that Towlaw fans in folklore, whenever a penalty gets conceded by them, they think back to Joe Hans and that heroic goalkeeping display all those years ago and what he did for us in the FA Cup. How many seasons ago was that now? I think that was 4 or 5. I mean, in the grand scheme of Towlaw history while we've been here, it's not actually that far back. Anyway, Shuttleworth trying to get us back on the straight and narrow. Can't quite pick out Jimmy Molyneux. Back with Shuttleworth though. Mr. Dessa at right back. You need to make amends, my friend. Can you put in another ball of quality? No, he can't. Although he's still got it. He's battling away. He gets it into Molyneux. Cleared away to Shuttleworth. Have a go. Turnbull. Oh my gosh, it's very similar to the first one. It's 2-1 here. We had half an hour of not a great deal of action and suddenly it's burst into life. Dylan Turnbull tucks away his 4th goal of the year. Shuttleworth with the assist. Mr. Dessa helps out in his own special little way. Not a dissimilar finish to his one that he got for the first goal, really. Similar spot in the net on the half volley. 2-1, and he's going to want his hat-trick now, Dylan. I'm now trying to remember if he's got a senior hat-trick yet. He's on the ball here, number 30. He's going to want it. Gives it to Vinko Kosic. Back to Turnbull. Cutting inside. Can he tuck it away? It's gone in off the defender. I don't think he can claim that one. Stuart Charles Charlie. Charlery. That's an awful name. Charles Charlery. No. Bad name. That's just... It's too similar, Stuart. I'm sorry. We'll call you Stu. Oh, we've got very fortunate there, haven't we? Turnbull's effort saved by the keeper, but just deflected into the path of the defender, running in on his own goal. I mean, it's a bit better than our performance against Crystal Palace, I suppose. Very happy, boys. I'm a little bit scared about complacency, but some of you have mentioned in the comments that I'm too harsh on the players. So I'm going to be gentle today. I'm going to be kind, I'm going to be loving. I'm not going to be shouty. Not today. Unless we concede 2, then shouty is necessary. Rays gives it to Andre Dessel. Now with Sacco. Dessel with it. Dinks it to Shuttleworth. Oh my word, that is an insane goal. That is an insane goal by Russell Shuttleworth. Dessel's assist is sublime. A little dink over the defender, but the volley. Oh, the technique on that. You love to see it. Sacco just dinks it over. Shuttleworth on the volley into the top corner. That is Tekkers. Russell Shuttleworth, not a player known for his quickness. It was all about his technique growing up as a wee lad. That's why. What a finish that is. 4-1 up. I think we can make some changes here. Kosic has been a bit quiet. I'm going to bring in Jacobs just to get him some fitness. I'm going to bring in Shvetsov for Molyneux as well. And with our last sub, do I want to make my last sub now? You know what, Mr. Dessa, go and have a break. We're going to bring in Vasily Ignatovic. to play right back. He's more of a centre back, but he can play right back. He should be okay for the last 25 minutes. Let's hope we don't get any injuries now because we don't have any more subs. Where's Vasily? Where are you, Vasily? You're a right back, not a centre back today. Look at that tackle. He's fallen over. Someone help him. Gabanin now with it. Herrera to Garner. Long range. Gives it to Hunter. Don't let him get a shot away from there. Edgeworth. Shot blocked. Oh my God. Yangel Herrera might have scored the best goal of the game. There's been some absolute bangers in this game here. And, well, this one's fallen to Yangel Herrera. Look at this finish. Hunter, I thought, was just going to whack it in. It comes to Edgeworth. He hits it, and then Herrera's just running onto it. The ball coming to him kindly, and like a tractor engine, he drives the ball home with that right leg of his. We dropped down to 7th. It's a disaster. We were in the playoffs for just a split second. Anyway, we are on the front foot here with possession. Williamson with it. Goes back to Smoljo. Let's not concede another now, folks, because there is still 15 minutes left. Switching the play here to Shuttleworth, who nods it to Shvetsov, the Russian. He's through. Can he tuck it away? He can't. He should have done better with that. It's because it wasn't on his head. He only scores headers, Shvetsov. I think that's a lie. He has scored a few with his feet, but he gets a lot with his head too. Should have done a John Terry-style penguin dive at the ball with the ball at his feet. However unorthodox it might have been. But I'm going to get a little bit shouty just for the last 10 minutes. We need to see this out, and I say that, maybe my shoutiness is going to come too late as Smoljo. But he plucks up that, but that can't be the highlight, right? There's got to be more going on here. Hugo, look at that. That ball is incredible to Turnbull. He now switches it, trying to pick out Shuttleworth, although that pass wasn't so great. Perhaps an opportunity for us to press and win the ball high up the pitch here. Gabanin works it around Andre Dazelle in the end, and now Edgeworth, who got an assist, I think, technically on their second goal, bringing it forward on this left-hand side. Dazelle misses his tackle. Vasily doesn't even attempt one, and Michael Jardine scores. Oh, should I go defensive? Should I park the bus? No, I shouldn't. We'll go positive, everyone. We'll try and hold on to the ball, but not overcommit men forward. It's a new Towlaw, this. We've dialed it down a little bit. We don't just stay on attacking, and look at it. It's worked. 4-3 this one finishes. I think we got a little bit lucky, but no one gave us a chance. We were massive underdogs in that one. Swansea's quality on the pitch, when you look at the two teams on paper, is 100% better than ours. And yet, somehow in that game, we've come out with a win in what was described as a thrilling encounter. One youngster who I think is worth mentioning is Walter de Ugo, who I now click on his profile and he's declined a lot, but he has been improving a fair bit in recent times. The youngster currently on loan at Blackpool. Keep an eye out for him. He could be one for the future. You can see a few players here, including Joe Hans. I feel like we've not talked about him. He's been out on loan every single year. I just kind of like keeping him around the dressing room, you know, for emotional support and that. I say that. He's out on loan, so he's not even in the dressing room, but he just gives it. I get positive memories, you know, the dopamine hits that I get from, you know, the positive memories are worth keeping him around. Another youngster who's done quite well is William Porter. He's on loan at Fleetwood, but he's been playing regularly for the Northern Irish national team, which I must admit is a little bit of a surprise. This is not a guy we've talked about a great deal. We signed him a few years ago from Glenavon in the Northern Irish Premier League. You can see in recent years he's had some pretty good performances. Last year in the National League he did well. This year for Fleetwood in League One he's doing very, very well. So maybe one for the future. I feel like he's got to improve a fair bit more before we could ever consider him. But keep him on your radar, I suppose. He could be one for the future. We're going to give Turnbull a little bit of praise. He definitely deserves that. Performing in training, performing on the pitch, in some fine form as of late. Hopefully it can keep going in the upcoming games. Anyway, one other thing that I completely forgot to mention, our facilities got upgraded. Can we get a woo? Woo! I'll do it, but you've all done it at home, I hope. You can see here, we are going to be improving the training facilities again. I did also ask for the youth facilities to be upgraded and was told to sod off. So for now, it's the training facilities that we're going to look to upgrade next summer. If I get another opportunity to ask for the youth facilities, I might try and be a bit greedy and push my luck. But for now, they're on the go. And of course, the training and youth facilities have seen another upgrade, which is always good, you know, for the longer term future, I suppose, here at Towlaw. But anyway, guys, it was good to get a win in this game against Swansea. We needed that. In terms of when we'll be back, you can see we've not got too many games in November. The month of December looks quite jam-packed. We could come back, I think, for the Burnley game. It's going to be in about a month and a half's time. They're currently second in the league, Burnley, one of the favourites for promotion. They actually lost, I think, in their most recent game. We could probably check here. Yes, they lost to Stoke. But there'll be a tricky game for us. Are we at home for that game? We are at home for that game. Someone asked recently, Jack, can we have a game at home, please? Whoever that person was, your wish is my command. That is when we'll be back. It's in 7 games' time. I'm hoping we'll be in the mists of a playoff push by then, because you can see now we're joint on points with Crystal Palace, but it's very tight. There's a long way to go. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves, but we're doing okay right now. Anyway, folks, that's all from me. Thank you for watching. If you've got any thoughts on how we're lining up for this year, how stuff's going on, but feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love reading them. And yeah, I will see you guys again tomorrow. It's me, Jack, and I'm out. I'll talk to you guys in a bit.